This evening, pilots angry over state of Barrameda Airstrip. Comedians celebrate Father's Day at the Marriott. Floods damage dozens of Wakanam homes. In the region, Ivan Duque elected president of Colombia. And internationally, deadly earthquake strikes Japan.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Bramwell Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Monday, June the 18th, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Venezuela has seemingly reversed its decision regarding its participation in the border controversy case at the International Court of Justice. The nation's foreign ministry said in a statement on Monday, the Venezuelan delegation has informed the president of the court through a letter signed by the President of the Republic, Nicolas Maduro Moras, of its sovereign decision not to participate in the procedure that Guyana intends to initiate, since the court manifestly lacks jurisdiction over an action unilaterally proposed by the neighboring country, which does not have the consent of Venezuela. Venezuela's foreign ministry went further to describe the land as being under their jurisdiction for hundreds of years prior to Guyana's independence from Britain in 1966, and again called for the two sides to return to the previously used arbitration method. The decision was made following a preliminary meeting at The Hague between the two nations and the International Court of Justice. One contractor is currently under fire for substandard work done at the Barrameda Airstrip in Barima Waini, Region 1. Bibi Bacchus tells us more in this report.
Henson pilots are upset over the state of the Barrameda Airstrip in Barima Waini, Region 1. On Sunday, Director of Operations for Roraima Airways, Leary Barkley, took to Facebook to show the deplorable condition of the airstrip. Today, it is in a deplorable condition due to substandard work. The bitumen is less than 1/4 inch thick. I don't blame Honorable David Patterson, who is doing an amazing work. I must blame the contractor who knew he was shafting the taxpayers by doing this egregious wrong. This would not have stood up to a car, much less a 10,000-pound aircraft exerting landing forces on it. Less than 6 months ago, the airstrip was rehabilitated by M. Ramzan Ali Construction Company to the tune of 70 million Guyana dollars. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure has been alerted to the situation and will hold the contractor responsible for the substandard work. The contractor could not be reached for comments. For Channel 2 Headline News, Bibi Bacchus.
Thanks, Bibi. The brother of famed chutney singer Mahendra Ram Kelawan was struck and killed by a vehicle last night. Here's more. Police are currently investigating a fatal accident which occurred around 10:20 last night on the De Willem Public Road, West Coast, Demerara. 28-year-old Joint Services Officer Lieutenant Isan Trim was driving motorcar PWW 5680 when he struck and killed 35-year-old Rupchand Ram Kelawan of Tushin Housing Scheme, East Bank, Essequibo. Reports indicate that the victim was crossing the road from south to north when he was struck by the motorcar, which was proceeding east along the northern carriageway. The pedestrian was rushed to the Lenore Cottage Hospital in an unconscious state and was pronounced dead on arrival. An unlicensed pistol with 4 live rounds was found on his person. Meanwhile, the driver is in custody assisting with the investigation. A breathalyzer test revealed that his breath alcohol level was above the legal limit. Ram Kelawan was the brother of popular Guyanese chutney singer Mahendra Ram Kelawan, who is known for hit songs like Dema Watch Me and Bussatoon. The 16th of June marked the 70th anniversary of the killing of 5 sugar workers, more commonly known as the Enmore martyrs. Over the weekend, the government held a ceremony to honor the fallen protesters. Here's Wendell Jeffrey with more from that commemoration service.
Exactly 70 years ago, 5 sugarcane workers were brutally killed, some shot in their backs, by the white colonial masters who were opposed to the workers protesting for better working conditions. On the anniversary of that event on June 16th, at the Enmore Monument, prayers were said by representatives of the Hindu, Muslim, and Christian religions. Wreaths were then laid at the foot of the Enmore Monument by family members of those killed, as well as members of parliament, union officials, and members of the diplomatic corps. The union representatives made presentations relevant to their interests. The representative of the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, GAU, spoke of the hardships that the laid-off sugar workers are now facing.
Today, the now jobless ex-sugar workers of Enmore, like those of Wales, of Rosal, and of Skeldon, remain hard-pressed and in some instances depressed. They are having grave difficulty in adjusting their lives. They have very serious troubles in securing decent and remunerative employment. They are forced to abandon their plans for life. Some have had the difficult task of telling their children that they cannot afford them to send them to school.
The Guyana Trade Union's Congress representative said that the martyrs' death have chartered a course from which all workers now benefit.
We have taken note of this event annually, which is used as a carriage by the martyrs in paving the way for us to have equal rights and freedom, to be involved in collective bargaining, the right to peaceful protest, and the right to be represented by trade unions of our choice.
There were performances from several groups, including the National Dance Company, the National Steel Orchestra, and the President's College. Minister with responsibility for labor, Minister Keith Scott, said that the struggles that the martyrs fought for are being fulfilled by his government.
Today, those issues are being addressed by the APNU AFC government much more methodically through the current Decent Work Country program that is going on now. Workers throughout the entire Cooperative Republic of Guyana can boast that they now enjoy the right to be represented by the trade union of their choice. It's a very sensitive subject that some persons wish to avoid. But let me be bold enough and say that industry is in a state of being rescued, resuscitated, and energized.
Those murdered on that fateful day, 70 years ago, were Lalabali Kisoon, Puran, Rambaran, Duki, and Hari. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jerry.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, Wakanam residents suffer from flooding, and hard-working ladies keep Mucka canals clean. But first, here's today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
Give blood, save lives. One unit can breathe life, make someone smile. Donate blood and heal a life today. Give blood, save lives. You just have to give and save. A message from the National Blood Transfusion Services. Be a good Samaritan, be a hero, donate blood, save lives. For more information, contact us on 223-7182 or 226-9022.
The Big King you love just chickened out. Introducing the new Chicken Big King with 2 crispy chicken patties and our signature king sauce. The new Chicken Big King, now part of our Burger King favorites. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Me, you're gonna kill yourself and burn down people out. Stop, I'm telling you, stop. This man don't hear you know. Hiya go. Look, I fed up with this stupidness, eh? I gonna fix this one here once and for all. Hello, GPL? Hey now, I got a big problem wrong here. They got this chap who continuing to do this. Alright, Skipper, you are under arrest for stealing the electricity. People, stealing electricity is dangerous to life and property, and it is also against the law.
Welcome back. Officials blame high tide and shoddy construction work for heavy flooding in Wakanam on Sunday. The villages of San Sushi and Melville, Wakanam, Essequibo Islands, suffered flooding early Sunday morning. High tide, exacerbated by a breach in the sea defense, resulted in over 3 feet of flooding in some areas. Regional Executive Officer Dennis Jaikaran said the region is presently providing support to the 12 severely affected residents. An additional 37 residents thus far have suffered minor losses as well. According to the REO, works were being conducted on the sea defense in the area, but the contractor did not follow established protocols. As such, when the high tides came, the sea defense was breached and flooding occurred. Jaikaran said Acting Director General of the Civil Defense Commission, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig, said the CDC will be providing cleaning supplies to residents as well as supporting the regional administration in its efforts. He informed that the Public Health Ministry will be on standby in the event of any outbreak of vector or waterborne diseases. Thus far, there have been no reports of illnesses, and the health center is providing residents with assistance. Engineers from the Ministry of Public Infrastructure are on the ground conducting remedial works. The situation is being monitored, and supplies are en route to the island. The CDC notes this is the first time they have been able to respond and provide supplies on the same day. In total, 49 households were affected. Residents of Mucka, Arcadia have the efforts of several hard-working women and men to thank for clean canals in their community. Esther Sobers tells us more about these special people in this report.
Hardworking, dedicated, and committed to getting the job done were some of the words used to describe the women who clean and maintain the canals and trenches in Mucka, Arcadia, East Bangdamarara. Employed by the Neighborhood Democratic Council of Mucka, the cleaning team comprises of 4 women and 6 men. Though only 2 women and 2 men were on duty at the time, their job requires them to spend 4 hours daily in the canals clearing the unwanted plants and bushes.
We working there for 8 years, since I come up here doing it. And we find it, we find it easy for doing a custom, doing it. So.
Enisa Cornelius, who has been maintaining the drains and canals for 2 years, is not in fear of alligators and snakes that may dwell in the water.
But when they see us, they're gone.
Though some of the workers may be satisfied with their daily earnings, one male worker is calling for an increase in his wages.
By no average, with the cost of living, you see the women in the canal, they're trying. And everybody trying. The whole crew and the out totally. But we still glad that I could take it and see what going on. It's part of that I'm working for run to help myself with the farming area. So it's farmers doing the work, farmers taking care of it.
Okay.
There's the money.
So at the end of the day, how much you gonna make? Or the end of the week, how much money in total? Your average?
You gotta do enough rod to steal yourself to get money.
And how much rod per day you normally do?
Yeah?
How much rod per day you normally do?
Thanks, Esther. Famed Trinidadian comedians came to the Marriott to entertain the whole family for Father's Day. Wendell Jeffrey was
Spotlight man, the storyline slightly so because it bumps enough in the small ball there. And it kind of like just hit in the direct in my eye. It kind of serious, bro. Help out the situation. Just turn slightly to His Excellency Ramatar. That's it. Let it bounce off of Rohi into Ramatar onto the stage. Nicely done.
That was how the mood was set for the two-of-a-kind show for the Father's Day concert. And from then on, it was a night filled with laughter. First up was Farida Chapman, the retired school teacher and veteran stand-up comedian from Trinidad. She based her satire on menopause and aging.
And when you see she starts to clean, a place that clean, clean. That's what you see. You just make room for the room. Place cold, it freezes, and then it goes in something bad. But menopause, that easy to control. Kegel exercise, release, hold, release, hold, release. You try that. Stop, go. In the meantime, gird up your loin with a shield. And if you want to laugh, cough or sneeze, please cross your knees.
I really enjoy the warmth of the Guyanese people, and the audience was just super.
Next up was Ricardo Keynes Douglas.
What I like about Guyana, especially the Guyanese, they're so receptive as an audience. I just feel at home on the stage when they're there. It's a lovely. Every time I perform here, A1, man. I just love it, yeah.
The famous Tanty Merle made a guest appearance.
Next to my husband, God rest his dead. No, he's not deceased. He left the console. It's my hand. It was my hand. But they put the oxygen mask over my face. And they can't hear what I say. I'm waving my hand. They take my hand and they stick her eye in it.
The final act was by the world-renowned Paul Keynes Douglas himself.
You ever notice in the West Indies, they have old ladies going down in it. And if you notice, they're smart, you know. They're walking, they got beers. You ever see a old lady come by you? One had a full forward Yamaha walking stick. Yeah, what's old lady? You saw she go up a little bit so. Within a second, and she go up. And she rests and she shocks a little bit like, what's the young girl tell me in the men see anything gay? So you know what we can do first? Me. I did it basically with Rufus. As father about to pour the water over Rufus' head, I hear a voice in the back saying, I want £1 saltfish. Mother mistake in church for the shop. Coming in the back changing gears and asking for saltfish. And they turned out to ask for saltfish and deliver Rufus. Rufus was in the middle of the water, all I splash. All the baby get back there in one time.
This show was a feature of Gems Theatre Productions and was held at the Marriott, Georgetown. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The Demerara River will soon be connected by a 4-lane fixed bridge. This is a departure from the proposed 3-lane retracting bridge. Minister of Finance Winston Jordan first spoke of this change in plans on Friday at China's 9th International Infrastructure and Construction Forum. In February, the Chinese ambassador to Guyana claimed that the originally proposed design, while cheaper, is not modern enough to be worth the investment. The larger and presumably taller bridge will be far more expensive than the proposed $170 million 3-lane retracting bridge. Minister of Finance Winston Jordan admits that the government does not currently have a model of financing for the project, but several entities have already expressed interest in building the bridge. Ebenezer Seventh-day Adventist Church celebrated Father's Day over the weekend. Wendell Jeffrey was there and filed this report.
On Saturday, children and wives paid special tribute to the fathers of the Ebenezer Seventh-day Adventist Church in honor of Father's Day. The newly formed group, One Voice, did a medley of songs that were well received by the packed church. A very well-crafted sermon was presented by Sister Althea Tucker.
A father's faithfulness in the small things determines the happiness of his children. And not just that, it strongly influences their spiritual direction. A father is a person who growls when he feels good and laughs very loud when he's scared. A father is a person who gets very angry when the school grades aren't as good as he thinks they should be. A father is a person who hurries away from the breakfast table. A father is a fellow who has replaced the currency in his wallet with snapshots of his family. Someone said, and I believe it is true.
Were gifted with tokens and served a 4-course meal by the female members and children of the church. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the Duque-elected president of Colombia and deadly earthquake strikes Japan. But first, here's this week's bridge retraction schedule.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. Now here's Bibi Bacchus with the regional and international headlines of the day.
Former American First Lady Laura Bush has spoken out against a controversial policy that splits up families who illegally cross the Mexican border into the U.S. She described the separation as cruel, immoral, and heartbreaking. Her comments follow growing controversy over President Donald Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy. Even current First Lady Melania Trump has expressed concern. Speaking through a spokesperson, she said that she hates to see children wants to amend the peace deal made with FARC rebels in 2016. Duque says he will overhaul the agreement that guarantees the rebel seats in Congress and allow them to be committed by the rebels during their conflict with the government. And in international news, defending World Cup champions Germany suffered a disastrous loss to Mexico over the weekend. Hervé Lozano's first half goal was the difference between the two sides in an enthralling encounter in Moscow. Brest, the runner-up in Group F, will face at least 16 tie against the Group E winner, expected to be Brazil. And finally, 3 people are reported to have been killed when a strong earthquake hit the Japanese city of Osaka. The magnitude 6.1 quake struck the city during the morning rush hour, bringing train lines to a halt. Monday's quake in Osaka occurred just before 8 hours local time north of the city. A 9-year-old girl killed by a falling wall at her school. Bacchus.
Thanks, BB. Here's the weather for the week. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.